I am Chengappa, a retired IAS officer, and I served in the Andhra Pradesh cadre for a fairly long term in various capacities, as collector, as commissioner, as head of departments, as secretary, and secretary of various departments, etc. And during the course of my work in different capacities, I underwent a lot of training programs. Though the effects and benefits of training cannot be quantified straight away in terms of so many benefits, overall a training is essential for anybody, including the highest functionary in the state or in the government of India, to discharge their functions in a proper manner, in a satisfactory manner. Because it is a question of capacity building, where a person is in a position and he is discharging his duties, unless his capacity is built up, unless his skills are upgraded from time to time, that particular person may be failing in the proper discharge of his duties. I can give an example where there was a very rare experience when the Prime Minister himself thought of conducting a 2 days training program where he was participating himself as a participant along with select collectors. I was one of the collectors. I was selected from Andhra Pradesh. Similarly, each state had sent one collector, and then there was a 2 days sort of training program, mostly on the role of social organizations and the extent to which the social organizations can be entrusted with government work, with work relating to the people and rendering of services, including transferring funds to them. As I was the senior most collector among all of them, I was made leader of the team, and it was my fortune to actually catch up the suggestions and recommendations of various working groups of collectors, and ultimately making a overall presentation in the plenary session where the Prime Minister himself participated. I had to answer his questions, I had to answer his doubts, I had to rectify the doubts of various other cabinet ministers. That training program gave me tremendous amount of confidence, tremendous amount of capacity building in dealing with social organizations. My concept of a social organization earlier was different from my concept of a social organization after I came back from the workshop and the training program. Similarly, for everybody, while discharging their functions, including some ministers, when we conducted in the HRD Institute the re-engineering of decision-making sessions, some of the ministers, cabinet ministers, were inquiring from me. I was the course director, inquiring from me as to when the next program is going to be there. They were so much involved, they were so much convinced about the efficacy of this kind of a training program. That is how a training program sometimes can be quantified, sometimes may not be quantified, but always training is a must for every person, and training is a necessary concomitant of every functionary, either government functionary or a social functionary or a public functionary. Training is very important, and it cannot be lost sight of.